Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Gallagher along with Jerry Burrow, and today we have a guest, head hockey coach, Duluth Denfeld, Dale Jago. Good afternoon, Dale.
How are you today?
We're doing well. How are things at the rink for you guys?
Yeah, things are going pretty well so far. So had a nice little holiday tournament and got through the holidays and looking forward to the new year.
Jerry, I'm hearing nothing regarding Denfeld, rather. I'm hearing nothing except these brothers that are playing out of Denfeld.
Yeah.
What's going on? Who are these guys?
The McClures, yeah. There's a lot of talk about them. A lot of people, even the scouts, want to watch them. And plus, they got a few other kids. You know, it's not just the McClures. It takes a team to win, and they're starting to win. Their program's changing. So how did you get more kids and better kids? What are you doing over there at the Denfeld program to improve it?
Well, I just think I think there's a new excitement in the West End as far as our hockey program goes, and with excitement comes some effort. With some effort comes some results, and with results, you are able to keep your kids from moving out of the program. And more often, most times than not, those are your best players. So if we're able to keep our best players in the program, we'll be able to put Denfeld back on the map. And the McClures are part of the move ups, but we got a really nice group of bantams that moved up, including some young defensemen that are playing on a regular basis. And that bantam group that moved up from last year is a good group. So,
and you got the foundation. You got two pretty decent goalies on your team.
I would say that our goalies are two of the best in the North.
Yeah,
nice.
I don't care what class you're talking about. So I think
Really.
Are you switching them every other game?
Yeah, we rotate them.
Of,
I can't imagine having two athletes of Eastie and Snyder's ability and having one play more than the other. So we rotate them, and we'll rotate them all year until the time comes where we'll make a decision.
So you just won what do they call the term? The Heritage Classic?
Yeah, we call it the Heritage Holiday Inn Classic now. So
okay. So is that going to be on next year?
Yeah, it will be on next year. This is the first time we actually have won it in 11 years.
Really?
Denfeld's never won, so this was the first year. We beat Owatonna in overtime. It was
Nice.
Okay.
It was so awesome for our kids because
Great.
Not only it's the first time some of the guys have ever won anything in that biggest. I think it was cool to see these kids win together, and we worked hard. I mean, we played real two solid
I didn't know
games.
that.
So yeah.
So what, 11 years you've been hosting that tournament?
11 years
First time
Denfeld.
you've won it in a thrilling overtime win.
2-1 in overtime.
You know what's so funny?
Oh, that's great.
I was down in the cities, and I'm seeing the big AA high school tournaments, Class AA. And the guy that ran Plymouth and the St. Louis Park one, he wanted to get a top A school tournament down there. And he was asking me, do you know any teams? And I said, yeah, Duluth Denfeld. You better look into them, but because you're having your own. But hey, that's what you need to do. I mean, is I was trying to get you a better schedule, better teams, and that if you can get about 10 good, few AA teams, you just played a couple.
Yeah.
So I mean, get a few of those, and you get your Herman Towns and Duluth East up here. And
the one thing we're trying to put together the strongest schedule we can. But 2 years ago, you have to remember we didn't even have a JV team. So,
yeah, it's hard.
It's
one team at a time. Almost.
So
yeah,
we've made some changes to our schedules. It's gotten stronger. There's no doubt about that. But it's with this new computer-based model where they're ranking AA teams. Some of the AA teams don't want to play single A teams because it hurts their rankings.
Right.
So
yeah,
that's why I love
doesn't make
the
sense.
East program, because Mike will play us. He doesn't care if it affects his rankings and within his section or not. It's a good thing for Duluth Hockey to keep that rivalry going, and I'm sure happy that he's kept or extends that olive branch to us, because he doesn't really have to play us. So
Right.
But that's coming up on January 6th, and
Right. That's going to be a big game this year.
I think both
the
sides
interest
of
is bigger.
Yeah, I think it is, and I love that stuff. I like it. Just like, again, it's really exciting for our kids.
Yeah, I think just looking at it, I've seen both your teams a lot, and I think that's going to go right down to the end.
Yeah, it could be a good game. So it'll be
There'll be more fans that want to come to the game.
Yeah, there's going to be two good goalies battling it out. That's for sure. So
Right. So you got you played probably one bad game so far this year, probably, huh? Would you say?
yeah, I think
the
the one team we played up on the hill,
right.
we didn't play that well against. Our other losses against Cloquet, where we didn't play well in the first period, and then I think we carried the rest of the game, and then the tie is we got against is New Prague, and that's a guy that from originally
Right.
from Proctor that
Right.
coaches that team, and Boyer,
Right.
that was the best team I think we've played. So.
Well, for a while there, they were Class A. Now they're Double A because their class size has moved up. But they were one of the better Class A schools in all the southern Minnesota, below the Twin Cities, all the time. So, yeah, that was a very good game. I was at that game, and it was a good game, really.
Yeah.
And talking about you didn't play good one period, let me tell you something. I don't care what level of hockey. There's not too many teams that go 3 good periods. I don't care if it's pro, college, high school.
No, that's
So,
well, there's another team on the ice, and typically that's
you got to make
that
adjustments.
was a result of the other team. Yeah, you're right. No
Kids
question.
have to move their feet, and you got.
Yeah.
So, what have you seen so far in your team? Is this what you expected when the season started? I mean, you knew you're going to have a decent team, and if you can develop some of these younger kids to be better and some chemistry.
Yeah, I think as far as skill level and I knew what kind of skill level was coming up. I think I knew we had some defensemen that were certainly going to help our team up, in addition to the forwards that came up. But we finally have a back end. We haven't had a real strong back end on our team the last 2 years since I took over anyway. So with the addition of some of these young kids, that's really helped, and it goes hand in hand with the goaltending, of course. But yeah, the expectations were there. We're quick, we're fast, but I watched these kids play in Bantam, so I kind of knew. But they're still kids, and they're only 15 years old, and they haven't, or 16 years old. They haven't played within my systems or my structures, or
Right.
so there's a big learning curve there, and I think at the start of the year, I think that I was thinking they were retaining a lot more than they were, and I've kind of backed that up now, and it's kind of a daily progression of understanding and walkthroughs and chalk talks that they get a little bit better grip on what really is expected and takes place. And one thing about young kids is they got to learn to play every shift that they're on the ice, and that's I knew that was going to be a challenge as well. So, but it's been fun so far. So.
We're talking Hunter Hockey with head coach of Denfeld, Dale Jago. Dale, your old team, the UNB Bulldogs, won a national championship again, 2 in a row, and they're hoping maybe 3 in a row this season. 10-6-1 so far, 6-1-1 in conference, chair. Bulldogs, and they'll play Western Michigan. We won't see them in Amsoil till next year on January 10th and 11th, but your former team, you're still a Bulldog at heart?
Yeah.
That
sure.
game against UMass, it was I don't want to say a nail biter, but they took a lead 1-0, and then slowly but surely they took a 2-0 lead, and then finally 3-0. But they dominated that game from the drop of the puck.
Yeah, for sure. In all areas.
How exciting was it for you to watch that game? Was there kind of were you giggly at moments? Because I was watching that game, it's almost like you knew they were going to win, but, you had a UMass team. All they had to do was get one goal, get some momentum, but it never happened.
No, I knew the night. I think I wasn't that giddy about it because I watched the semifinals the day before, and you could tell our team was way better. So I was kind of expecting UMD to win it.
What years did you play at UMD?
I played from '86 to '90.
Okay.
But if you look back, we had back-to-back to championships. If that hockey game the year before the first or the second, our second championship, we would have been three-peating because by the time if that hockey game would have went one more minute, UMD would have tied the game up, and that was against Denver. Right?
Oh,
Jim?
yeah.
Yeah, there were some good years in the 80s.
Yeah, we were runner. No, I'm talking just now. We talk about the two-peat, but we would have had the three-peat if that was Toninado's senior year there. We had the game in the last 5 minutes.
Who recruited you at UMD?
Glenn Kulik.
Oh, he knew the Canadian style.
Well, our high school, I played at Notre Dame, Athelmore College. Yeah, so we actually came down and played UMD freshmen and sophomores, and then we played Cloquet, and then we went down and played Hill Murray, and then we played the University of Minnesota's junior varsity team, and then we went up to Hibbing and played their community college.
So you had a big trip down here, huh?
Yeah, we were on the road for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
So,
jeez.
Yeah, it was at the end of the road trip, I got beat up by one of the toughest guys in Manitoba. I didn't know it at the time. I wouldn't have fought him, but...
So that's how you learned.
Yeah, I was cut over my eye. My nose was a little swollen. I was cutting my lip. I got off the bus and my mom went, "Oh boy, what happened to you?" So...
Back to your Hunter team, you were saying the back end, last few years, the back end wasn't that strong and that, but tell you the truth, you had one kid that you must last year played, I think, almost the whole game, Shikes.
Shakesy? Oh,
yeah. And I voted him for the all-area team,
That's what...
And people don't understand what that kid did for your team.
No, it was crazy. It was... On average, he would play 32 to about 37 minutes, somewhere in that window. It was totally unfair.
More than Suter.
But yeah, he was playing a lot. Out of 51
Where's
minutes,
he at now?
He's playing North American NA3, they call it, and it's down in
Iowa?
Spooner there.
Spooner, okay. Spooner one, yeah.
Yeah,
they got a team back.
He skated with us a couple times when he was over Thanksgiving break there or whatever it is.
People didn't know what that kid had to go through. I mean, playing that much time, holy cow.
Yeah, he hurt his back there last year, and we were like, oh, well, you'll have to delay that back injury until the spring because, yeah, he was a good player.
With the excitement now with Hunter Hockey, do you think, I would think so, but don't you think there'll be more kids that want to get into playing hockey and that?
Well, I hope so. I mean, that's the one thing that you see when a team like Greenway goes to the state tournament, or even Proctor that's got their beautiful new arena now. They're getting crazy numbers right now. So it's just a matter of keeping the kids playing, keep them in your program. But anything with 2 years ago we won before I took over, they had won 4 hockey games. We won 10 that year, and we should have probably won 12 or 13. Mm-hmm. But I don't care what anybody says. Winning breeds excitement, and if you can be part of something winning, you're going to retain kids.
It's interesting too because you've lost hockey rinks in that part of town. Merritt just closed. Irving's been closed for a few years now. Piedmont seems to be doing real well, and that's kind of where the focus is.
Well, we got, like you said, we lost those 2. Gary Morgan Park's always been solid, not getting as many numbers out of there as they have in the past. we got Piedmont's on pretty solid ground, but then you go to the Heights, and the lovely city of Duluth has condemned that building, so we don't know what's going on with it. But those are really nice sheets of ice up there.
Boy, I'll tell you, playing at Lower Chester back in the day, I never looked forward to playing Merritt. Merritt always had good teams. And,
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of kids in that neighborhood.
Yeah. Tough kids.
That's
too.
a shame.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame. It's just.
So what do you have to do? Where do you?
That's all. That's what we got left, and that's where we're drawing from. So, I guess that you just have to deal with it.
So this is your second year coaching?
Third.
Third already. Holy cow, time goes by fast.
I was 7 years at Marshall too. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, so you know the high school system in Minnesota, and what if you could change something? If they allow you to make the changes, what changes would you make in high school hockey?
I would increase the amount of games. I would like to see at least 30.
Okay.
I would extend the period
To 20?
to 20. And I would take out the computer-based ranking system
Right.
that has been installed.
It's
That's kind of through the MSHSL.
it's wrong.
And it's wrong, and I've talked with several coaches in the area, and if you can't sit across the table
Yeah. Talk it up.
and talk about where you should be ranked in the section and why, and vice versa, then and come to an agreement and a vote like we do that in our section, and it always plays out pretty much the same way. So but now they got this computer based, and AA teams are worried about playing single A teams. So I think because they'll lose a ranking, I think it's terrible.
Yeah.
So that's right offhand of the ones that I would change.
That's what a lot of people, even the pro scouts you talk to, I ask them, what would you change in high school? And that's basically more games and more time on the periods and that.
Well, when you say more games, it'd obviously have to be before the season starts or more games during the week, because your playoffs are gonna.
You could extend the season a little bit, I think.
I think the high school league, they're worried about insurance because some teams now, you go up north now, it's hard to find just to cover their own team. Look at Duluth Marshall now. That's kind of sad knowing how could that be? How did that happen, But then you appreciate people like Brendan Flaherty, what he really did for that program and how he got that set up to be a very competitive program in the state.
Yep.
And it's, you just appreciate people like Brendan and that more and more because, you don't get those kind of people around that keep hockey programs going.
No. And I was a part of that program for 7 years, and we had a pretty good thing going there, but there was one, if I hadn't got the head coaching job at Denfeld, I would have left anyways, because there was just too much lack of support with two people up there that I will remain anonymous.
Right.
But the amount of support that the one person that should know what's going on with that hockey team, I bet you didn't even know me and the other assistant coach's name. So when stuff like that happens, it's going to go south, and that's
you get new heads of schools and they're not in it for the hockey, and they just don't understand a lot of things and that.
So what's on? I'm kind of curious. What's on the schedule for Denfeld now?
So we play on this Friday against Bloomington Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
We play on the 6th against East,
yeah.
which will be I think it'll be one of a good test for us. Everybody will be excited about that. And then
so
we got
on the 6th against East. Should I show up for that game, Jared?
You should. Monday.
All right.
It's a Monday.
It's a Monday night, so it's only I believe it's only scheduled as a varsity game too, so there is no JV game. And then we got Thief River and War Road, who are ranked in the top.
Well, that's going to be a good
top
weekend.
10.
They're coming in every other year. You go there, and
we go up there.
You got to keep them on your schedule all the time.
We go up there so they can work on their power play because the referee is just awful.
Oh, they're coming here
Well,
this
And
year?
they're coming here this
But
year.
you can
where-
work on your penalty.
Where I don't, where some of it depends who we get, where the reffing can be just awful too. So.
This is kind of funny, but a couple of weeks ago, a AA team came up to play East, and I was talking to the coach before the game, and the first thing, he didn't even say hi to me yet. He says, how come the reffing in Duluth is so bad? It's the worst in the state.
Yeah,
I started laughing.
That's not true, guys. The reffing in Duluth is very good. Compared to up there, holy moly.
And thinking of reffing, we got our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Mickey Farrell, who just passed away. And he reffed for almost 50 years, and he contributed to the Central Hillside sports his whole life, Little League baseball, the hockey, peewees and bantams, and he put his time in, and our thoughts and prayers go out to Sandy and Ross and Steve and the daughter.
He's a D1 hockey player too, I think.
He was a great hockey player back then in early 60s.
Yeah.
61, I think he graduated. Good football player and baseball player
Yeah.
too. He was an athlete
Sure.
back in the 3-sport time.
Yeah.
So
I saw he just passed.
yeah. Yeah, talking, we don't talk about athletic trainers, but Denfeld's had Stephanie Hauer as your athletic trainer for a long time. And
Yeah.
this girl has to go through a lot. You go in the locker room or down by the locker room after games, you think she's selling ice.
Yeah. No, I know she's actually not with us this year. She's got a really young baby, so
Oh, okay, that's right.
I actually teased her a couple times that every hockey season she ends up getting pregnant. So I don't know what's going on there, but no, she did a wonderful job for us. So, but they got 2 little kids under the age of 2 there, so
Hockey players.
hopefully.
So, but whoever's the athletic trainer and helper or whatever, they got a lot of work sometimes. You see kids coming off the bench and they have to go in the back just for a few minutes
Oh, yeah.
and fix them up and stitches or whatever.
Now with all this concussion protocol, it's like we've had 4 kids with concussions already this year. So
Jeez.
they got to know what they're doing.
What's the longest a kid has stayed out, Nick, didn't pass the test so far?
Probably with us, it's 4 weeks.
Wow,
And
that's a long time.
if your schedule is just depends where your schedule is. That's 8 hockey games at the least. That's over a third of the season.
Just think when you were back in high school and when you were playing hockey, they never did that.
no.
But there had to be more concussions back then because of the fighting and
Oh, yeah.
everything. Just think, holy cow.
Well, I remember when I was in Denmark, I went to the wrong bench and they helped me actually.
So you only spoke English.
Well, yeah, the Danes, they kind of said, but I went to the wrong bench and nobody even checked with me after the game with whether if I had a headache or anything. We've come a long way with as far as, dealing with the concussions and recognizing them, but.
And they're saying that about the former Olympic player Pavlich.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
And they think it's now that it's
Yeah.
coming down to the brain injury from
Sure.
all the hits in hockey.
Well, that's
and,
the same that happened with Joe Murphy, and it's not just the tough guys. It's not all
Right.
these guys that got encephalopathy or the brain there or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's CTE or whatever. But
Eric
there's
Lindros.
there's Joe Murphy's homeless up in Kenora.
Wow.
Joe Murphy.
Sad.
Yeah, he was the first overall pick in 1988.
Wow.
So it's
Who did he play for?
played for the Edmonton Oilers and Detroit Red Wings.
Okay.
He's got a couple Stanley Cups. But
Oh,
it's just-
jeez.
It's the impact. But there's a lot of guys I play with that we joke and laugh about it that we can't remember things, but
Yeah.
we're only
Speaking of
Late
the
40s.
Detroit Red Wings, what has happened to that great franchise? They're last in the league. They've got 9 wins on the season. And,
They're going for the first pick.
oh, I see.
they're going to get her the way they're playing right
And
now.
I think there's some good players in the first 5 players. So, Have your goals for the team changed since before the season started and now, or?
No. No, it's, I set the same goals when I came in, and that was to get our hockey team down to the Amsoil, and that's where our quarters,
Semis.
quarters and semis are. Yeah, our semis.
Yeah, the semis
What am I
and-
talking about?
semis and
Our
finals.
semis and finals are there.
Right.
So, I think once you get there, anything can happen. That's me and Randolph talk about it all the time. I mean, we talk about that 3-1 Elk River game where they were down and that kid came out of the
Right.
box. You know,
Right.
That's the stuff
5
that
minutes.
happens. Sure,
Yeah.
and it's,
Something stupid and
yeah, and young kids when the stage gets bigger,
too much excitement
the
sometimes. you know?
excitement can translate to nerves, and
Right.
Well,
nerves
I'm-
translates to.
Kind of curious, what's your relationship with Mike Randolph like?
And it's one of friendship and another one of respect, I think.
Well, that's pretty cool because these are the last two Duluth schools standing. Granted, Marshall is a Duluth school, but albeit a private school. That's pretty cool to hear.
Well, Mike he helped UMD out when I was playing there, and I liked him as a coach then. And I think we're pretty good friends. But I respect Mike a lot, and I think he respects me to the. And certainly he's so good to our program, and he was
Your
he was
speaker.
he was there. Yeah, we just had him speak at our banquet for our Christmas tournament. So we
Really?
get along really
Oh,
good.
good.
Yeah, we
That's
bounce
good to hear.
ideas off each
Did
other.
he talk
and-
10 minutes or so?
What's that?
How long did he talk?
About 10 minutes.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah. So it was a good speech, and
Well, we've got just moments here as we wrap up. And Jerry, it's been a while since I've been here, so I'm a little rusty, but back in the saddle, so to speak. Dale Jago, thank you.
yeah, for
Good
sure.
luck this year.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you
Coach.
very much. It's sure appreciate the support and the coverage.
And what's Jacob Borum's number, 19?
Number 19.
Does he get in the lineup more often? now
He's
that
always
you
in the
like-
lineup.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Well, again, thank you, Dale. Thank you to the staff at PACT-TV, where this program is produced. You can check out the website, MinnesotaHockeyConnection.com. We have a Facebook page. Go there and like that. And we'll be back here next week to drop the puck. We'll see you then.
See you at the rink, especially January 6th, Monday night, Denfeld and East.
Thanks again, Dale.
You betcha, for sure.
Hockey Town.